While the younger generation discovered Ajax Amsterdam in the 2018-19 Champions League, the Dutch Giants did not wait for Frankie de Jong and company to make their mark on the domestic and European stage. No, quite the opposite. After winning 3 Champions League titles between 1971 and 1973, Ajax enjoyed another successful period in the 1990s. One man was responsible for this new golden age, his name, Louis van Gaal. In his first season on the bench, the Dutch coach wasted no time in winning a 4th Champions League in 1995. Here's a look back at this epic adventure of the Ajaxes, an adventure that gave birth to legends of the game. Subscribe to Megafoot, the best of football in video. Our story begins at the dawn of the 1990s. Ajax, then coached by Leo Beenhakker, was not very attractive. Worse still, the team was in trouble, not only in sporting terms but also economically. Dominated by its main rivals at the national level and suspended on the European stage following the attack on the goalkeeper of Austria Vienna by a hooligan during the UEFA Cup match, the club was further blackened by stories of fraud on player transfers in 1989. Faced with this delicate situation, the management and fans called for changes. The timing was right. Leo Beenhakker was recalled by his former club, Real Madrid, in 1991. His successor was none other than his assistant, yes, Louis van Gaal. For his first experience on the bench, the former midfielder was not afraid to take the initiative. He quickly imposed his ideas and methods. From the outset, the Dutch coach focused his strategy on developing young talent that would fit in with his playing principles and his vision of total football. Better still, he then developed innovative training methods. By measuring and controlling the effectiveness of each session, Van Gaal allowed Ajax to evolve and to take its first steps in sports science. A mini-revolution with immediate consequences. The Ajax team, led by its new gem, Dennis Bergkamp, gradually regained its colors. So much so that Ajax won the UEFA Cup in his first season. They did not know it yet, but this trophy was the first of many to come. But it wasn't all plain sailing. One domestic cup later, and Italian giants were lining up to plunder the club in the summer of 1993. Dennis Bergkamp and one of the team's key players, Wim Jonk, left for Inter Milan. John Vent Schip and Marciano Vink joined Genoa. The challenge for Louis van Gaal is immense. He must reshape his team. It is a difficulty he has never encountered before. But in the end, it is almost a blessing. To start again, the man called the Pelican because of his rigor does not hesitate to rely on the young talents of the club. The De Boer brothers, Patrick Kluivert, Edgar Davids, the very young Clarence Seedorf, or Edwin van der Sar. Ajax has an exceptional generation in its ranks. Future stars of the game, supervised by the legendary Frank Rijkaard. We almost forgot the Finnish Jari Litmanen. Van Gaal's favorite player, the Ajax number 10, exploded at the European level. He was one of the architects of Ajax's long-awaited league title, scoring 26 goals in the process. The fans, like all self-respecting fans, were delighted, but they wanted more. So do Van Gaal's troops. A C3 is good, but a Champions League, let's face it, is better. To perfect its skills, Ajax has found an ideal playing field in the league, an area that is not conducive to defeat. 27 wins, 7 draws, no defeat, 106 goals scored for an average of 3.12 per game. It's simple. The Lancers are unplayable. Everything seems easy. In fact, they had no trouble reaching the Champions League final. After beating twice the great Milan in the group stage and sweeping aside Bayern Munich in the semifinals, no one seems to be able to stop this unstoppable red and white storm that is raging across the turf of Europe. On their way, they once again meet the Rossoneri, a third act that promises to be indecisive. Although the match was tight, Van Gaal, anxious to bring some impact and weight to the front line, decided to bring on Patrick Kluivert with 20 minutes left in the match. It was a brilliant move that will now belong to history. Yes, it was the 18-year-old striker who scored the only goal of the final, giving Ajax a 4th Champions League title. If stars blossom, an icon ends in apotheosis. Frank Rijkaard decided to put an end to his immense career after this last dream season. But the main thing is elsewhere. The whole Europe once again admires this all-powerful Ajax. One question tortures all competitors on the old continent. Who can beat Van Gaal's Ajax? This war machine, masterfully led by an innovative tactician with a thirst for victory. And who cares if Seedorf leaves or Kluivert sinks into depression after a terrible accident? Ajax is still an incredible winning machine. The European Super Cup, International Cup, and the championship were all achieved in 1996. The next goal was a fifth European Cup. However, on May 22, 1996, one team would knock Ajax off their throne. It was Juventus. Once again, in the final of the UEFA Champions League, the Dutch lost to the Bianconeri on penalties. This defeat was the first failure for Van Gaal's Ajax, and even then, it's not clear whether you can call it a failure when you reach the Champions League final for a second year in a row. Will bring the club to a halt, it must be said, well helped by the Bosman ruling. Many players left the club to join the richest clubs in Europe. The glory days were a distant memory. And if Louis van Gaal left the club at the end of the 1996-97 season to join FC Barcelona, the epilogue of our history will remember that he will have written the class of 1995 in the greatest books of world football history. What about you? Did this Ajax generation make you dream? Tell us what you think in the comments. If you liked it, don't hesitate to talk about our channel around you, to like it, to share it. See you soon for a new video. Ciao!